Hi, boys and girls. Yesterday on our digital learning assignment, we practiced how to identify reasons and details the author gives to support particular points in the text. We dove into a social studies passage that taught us about John Brown's raid, remember? Well, today we're going to work with a new passage, but we're going to use those same strategies to find the reasons and evidence. And today we're going to go a step forward and we're going to determine the main idea of the text using that evidence. So here is our I can statement for today. Go ahead and read it to yourself. Before we dive into our new text today, let's activate some background knowledge that's going to help us learn from this new text. So the first thing I want you to do before we go forward, make sure you have your journal or piece of paper, or you can even open up another window and a Google Doc to take notes during this lesson. I'm going to use a journal for today. So in your journal or on your Google Doc, I want you to write your first heading, Sounds I See. Can you see how I did that? Sounds I see. Hold on a second, Miss Leecraft. We can't see sounds. Yes, I know. We all know that sound is energy that we hear, not see. But we are going to use this heading to take a look at this picture. In your notes, I want you to list as many sounds that you see going on in this scene. Pause the video if you need to for a couple minutes to make sure you get them all. How many were you able to find? Now we're going to take a look at a passage, and it's actually a familiar passage. We had this last week on our digital learning day in science, one of those days. And we're going to work together to determine the main idea of this passage. And no, I'm not just talking about the title, which I can clearly see. I'm talking about the main idea. We have to dig a little deeper than the surface to find it. The first thing that I like to do when I'm determining the main idea is section off my passage into mini main ideas. In other words, we have to think about what each paragraph is mostly about before we can determine the overall main idea. Remember that in this first section, it was mostly about the different parts of the sound waves. The crest, which is the top of the sound waves, and the troughs, which are the bottom, and the whole wavelength. The author also included a diagram here that helped me better understand the wavelength and the different parts that make it up. So, what I'm going to do now is add to my notes, and I'm going to write down what paragraph 1 is mostly about. Paragraph 1 is mostly about the important parts of a sound wave. Okay? I don't know if you can see that. But during this lesson, if you need more time to write, please pause the video and resume when you're ready. So, let's take a look back at the passage. Let's look at the second paragraph. Since we've already read it, I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to reread it to you. But I do know that this passage was mostly talking about the frequency, or how close or how spread apart the crests and the troughs can be, and what that means. The author also included another diagram down here to help me better understand what frequency is. So let me add to my notes. What is paragraph 2 mostly about? Well, paragraph 2 is mostly talking about the distance between the crests and troughs, which I know determine the frequency of a sound. Now that we have our two mini main ideas, let's use them to determine the overall main idea of the entire passage. So the first paragraph was mostly about the important parts of the sound wave, and the second passage was mostly about how the distance between those important parts of the sound wave are. Well, let's start our response by restating our task. So our task is to identify the main idea, right? So we're going to start our answer by saying the main idea of this passage is, okay, now I need a verb, a good strong verb that describes the author's purpose. Was the author's purpose to entertain me with this passage? To persuade me? No, to teach me, right? So I need a teaching verb like explain. The main idea of this passage is to explain how a sound wave's appearance can give us information about a particular sound's pitch. So how the sound wave looks gives us information on how the sound sounds, if it's high pitch or low pitch. Go ahead and pause the video and write your main idea statement in your own words. Did you get a chance to write it? Can you see mine? I wrote, the main idea of this passage is to explain how a sound wave's appearance can give us information about a particular sound's pitch. Now, there's not one way that this has to be written, but as long as we're thinking about our many main ideas and bringing them together to find the overall main idea, then different wording isn't that important. But what is important, after we identify the main idea, we also need to make sure that we can support this main idea with evidence from the text. So if we go back to our text, we got to be able to find important details in there that support it. Like in this first section, it's talking about how short wavelengths, so we're talking about appearance or how it looks. If a wavelength is short, that's when crest and troughs are near each other or close together. Kind of like this diagram down here. You see how those crests and troughs are so close together? And on the flip side of the coin, long wavelengths are created when they're spread apart. You guessed it, kind of like this diagram down here. You see how spread apart that is compared to this one? So that's a detail that supports my main idea. Also, there's a detail in here in this paragraph where it talks about what that means. When the crests and troughs are close together, that means they have high frequencies or high pitch. Crests and troughs that are spread apart have low frequencies or low pitch. Can you think of some examples of sounds that are high pitch? What about sounds that are low pitch? Well, now that we've reread this passage, we should have a really good understanding of frequencies of sound and what that means. So, keep in mind that when we're identifying the main idea, we're also summarizing the passage, aren't we? Before you try one on your own, let's add another statement to the bottom of our note sheet, explaining the importance of identifying the main idea. Pause the video to give you some time to write. Alright, so this is what I wrote. It's important for students to determine the main idea because it makes it easier for them to understand and remember what they are reading. And this is why it's so important to section off your passage into those many main ideas, then bring it together to determine the overall main idea. So you can remember what exactly it is that the author wants you to learn. Now it's your turn. Take a look at the passage linked underneath this video in your Digital Learning Day plans. You're going to be practicing identifying the main idea by thinking about those little mini main ideas first. Great job today, guys. Don't forget to share your notes and thoughts when we come back to school with your teacher. Bye for now.